Yo, what is good, everybody? Are you guys ready to catch the next 10x stock that could skyrocket your portfolio? We're diving into a hidden gem that's just $9. This stock has a breakout potential to hit 15, even 20 plus. I'm spilling my top picks like Nvidia, AMD, and more, with pro tips on timing entries and managing risk to stack those gains. Don't sleep on this. Let's get that money. Subscribe. Let's get to 500 subs. Hit that bell. Let's break down these stocks to watch today. So first one on my radar is APLD, Applied Digital. Gonna be getting you guys some levels. Goal is to buy low, get a good entry. This one can be the next Palantir. So Applied Digital Corporation designs, develops, and operates digital infrastructure and cloud services for high performance computing, HPC, and AI industries in North America. It operates through three segments: data center hosting, cloud services, and HPC hosting. The company provides infrastructure for crypto mining, GPU computing solutions for AI, and machine learning overall. And it builds and manages data centers that are optimized for HPC applications. They are based in Dallas, Texas. They focus on scalable, energy efficient solutions, often leveraging renewable power. So we've seen for the pre-market area, we did break to that $10 level. So we have room to move for that 15 and next that $20 level. I'm personally buying options for this one, so I'm looking for a solid $5 to $10 move, but you can also benefit by adding it to your long term or just buying shares overall. So this probably won't be too accurate yet until market fully opens, but the options are relatively cheap, and I put it for 2 weeks out. I'm gonna be buying mine for 3 weeks out today. Only $100. You're risking $100 for in the money, and you can even get more out of the money if you really wanted to. I don't recommend that. The most that I would go is $12. But honestly, just have your time with this one. For most of these stocks, please have your time. I'm personally scoping out a play at around below that $10 level, maybe $10 flat, and or like 960 to like that 970 level, watching this level. If we can get a bounce, but then if we bounce lower than that, I'm going to be scoping out another type of play. Right now, it is looking like it's going to the upside. So for now, scope out that $11. See how it reacts to that $11 level, and then past that $11, look at 12, 13.50, and that $15 level. Past the $15 level, looking for 16.50, and then all the way up to that $20 level that we were talking about before. I'm personally, if I do buy it now, I'm going to just be waiting until it gets up to like maybe that $15 level. I'm going to sell it. I'm willing to hold it for a couple of days, especially buying it 3 weeks out. It's going to be a safer play. So this is one that I do recommend having on your radar. But before we get to the next one, man, I got a little ad for y'all, man. Want to trade smarter and grow your portfolio like a pro? From catching Apple's rebound to banking thousands on ATAI, my website, nextgenwealthtips.com, has everything you need to win in the stock market. And right now, we have killer deals going out for my ebooks. Learning is key, and investing in yourself is the best thing you can do. So check these out if you guys want. So next one is going to be IBIT. It is a Bitcoin ETF. And for this one, I personally make a play once a week, getting me great returns, 50% each. But you have to time this one right. So if we look at Bitcoin's price action, we've been kind of, just staying around that 107 level. I personally wait until we get up to like 110, and then I'll buy a put option if I do scope out that type of play, and or I'll wait for it to get to that 102 to that $100,000 level, and I'll scope out a call option. If we look back at around this level, we bounced below the 100K level, and honestly, man, literally made a bunch of money off this one because I think I bought it a little early. I think I bought it at like the 101 level. And then like I held it for a couple of days. I thugged it out a little bit, and then sooner or later, I think I sold it at that 105. Could have sold it at the 107, but I think it got up to 105 one day, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna sell my IBIT call. With that being said, for Bitcoin overall, it moves with headlines, and I personally wait for Bitcoin to hit that 102 to that 100K level. Then I buy a call option. That's 3 weeks out. It normally bounces back a few days later, but you want to have that 3 weeks for that security. But have news on your radar for this one. If the news isn't too bad with the sell-off, then it's going to definitely come back. And or if we have bad news, wait for the news to get better, then boom, get into your play. For example, the recent ceasefire news made a bunch of money after that comeback, but please for this, have your patience. This one was kind of more of a gamble, gambling that it's not going to bounce below that 100K for too long. But with that being said, IBIT is a decent one to watch. And if we go to the options, because I'm personally trading options whenever we talk about these, but you guys can also buy shares. But the options are relatively cheap as well. If we go like 3 weeks out, the in of money plays is literally $180. Not too bad. So next, we have to include Palantir, PLTR, and we just sold off. We did see some defense spending going down, but it's not too bad for a crash like this. So previously, the level of 130 was a great level to watch because it can definitely go back to 140, and we're really close to that 140 level already. So we're kind of late into getting into that trend because we might break upwards today, might fill some gaps back up to that 145. I'm going to personally be looking for a play lower than that 140 level and then waiting for it to, break some levels like 141.5, 144.5, and that 145 level. And I'm probably most likely going to sell it at that 145 level, but we do have potential of it hitting that 150 as well. So keep Palantir on your radar. But if you guys want to get a safer play, I would recommend waiting maybe until that 135 level gets hit and or that 130 level gets retested to see how stock market opens today. Because Palantir is either going to go one or two ways. We're either going to fill the gaps back downwards and start retesting those lows, and or we're going to break upwards, get back up to like that 140 to that 145 level. So just have your patience because you could scope it out both ways. But I'm personally looking for a call option myself, but with a little bit of patience. So next one is UNH, man. And let's zoom out. We got to zoom out to talk about this one because we had a lot of price action happen. And look at this one, man. We fell down a decent amount. We were trading at like that 600 level, even that 500 to like lows, but sold off a decent amount all the way down to that 275. I mean, if you would have scoped it out at that 250, you would have made a decent amount of money by now. But with that being said, man, a lot of big people are looking at this one. We got a lot of bad news, the CEO getting killed, stuff like that. But it took a fat fall, but big money is still looking at this one. And normally stocks make a 50% comeback. So this is a great one to have on your radar as well. Just wait for a breakout. I'm personally waiting for a breakout of that 320. Once we bounce above that 320, that 330 level is going to be next. And then now we just got the gaps to fill upwards overall. And honestly, once this stock starts moving, I think a lot of big money is going to start loading back up to it because it's a great one to have. And especially at these levels, is a great level for your long term. But you can also scope out that 300 as well. If you bounce below that 300, you probably get a call option, let it bounce back to 310 to 320, and boom, you just made a bunch of money. So you guys are probably sick of hearing about NVIDIA and even Palantir, but I gotta mention NVIDIA. This has been personally my main one I'm trading and have been making a lot of money with this one. Rinse and repeat play right here. I'm trading $2,000 at a time and doubling my money. I'm up so much on this one. I'm using this as an example to explain my risk tolerance. So back when I first started trading, let's say I'll start with $1,000. I'll trade that, and let's say I double it. So I have $2,000 in total, $1,000 profit, and then I'd rinse and repeat. But at that time, I'd trade my profits as well. So my next trade would be 2,000, and let's say I doubled that 4,000, and then my next trade would be 4,000, and then we'll get up to like 10,000. But my original money and then the profit, and then do it a few times to get like 10K. Then there, I'm trading 10K at a time. And guess what? Sometimes stocks have pullbacks and even could last for a week or two. Even if you get 2 weeks out of the money, it's still not going to be safe enough to trade all of your money in your portfolio overall. And this was a dumb mistakes that I was making when I first started trading. But I use that as an example because now I'm only risking the original $2,000. So let's say like that $2,000, I double it. I have $4,000 in total. But guess what? My next trade is only going to be $2,000. And at that time, I'm only risking the profits, and the risk is going to be a little bit lower. Maybe if I see it going down, my stop loss might be at $200 to $500, and I'm only losing $200 to $500. And if I lose 500, I'm still up 1,500. But if I did 4,000, I would have probably lost way more money, and honestly, blew an account probably potentially. And that's what I used to do. I used to stack my bread, used to get up to like 10K, and then I'd blow an account. Like, how is that even possible? So nowadays, I want you guys to understand this because you guys don't have to risk all of your money. Just have like a dedicated amount of money that you want to trade. So for me, it's like 2,000 per trade or per stock that I want to do, and then I just risk that 2K at a time. And with the profits, I just pocket the profits, basically use it for my next trade. But with that being said, do not risk all of your money and only have like a set amount that you want to risk. But with NVIDIA, we are seeing more and more companies going for the AI trend, and NVIDIA being the leader in chip sales and stuff like that, best chips, like big companies, they want to have NVIDIA chips, but they're getting more and more customers with this. So NVIDIA is going to be a beneficial company overall. Let me know in the comments if you guys think we'll hit 4 trillion market cap by the end of the week. Right now, we're currently at that 3.85 trillion. So honestly, I think we can hit it as long as we continue this bull momentum. But with this one, please have your patience. I'm personally just rinsing and repeating. Like yesterday, not yesterday, but Friday, sorry. I got it all the way down to like that 156 level somehow. I don't know how, but I scoped it out pretty well. And honestly, sometimes you have lucky plays where you'll scope out the bottom by accident. And honestly, man, I'm thinking about selling my play. I might see if we can hit that 160 level, but if not, I'm going to sell out, take my profit and then look for my next play with NVIDIA. Probably. I don't know. I'm going to be a little patient with this one, but NVIDIA, man, this one has been a rinse and repeat for the past week, and honestly making a decent amount of money with this one ever since we made that breakout of 145. Last but not least, another one that's kind of moving exactly with or not Bitcoin, but NVIDIA is AMD. So basically, man, let's talk about AMD. It's another chip company, and they just made a chip to compete with NVIDIA's Blackwell, and it's been showing and growing trend since then. So NVIDIA is another one, or AMD is another one to have on your radar. Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up now. But AMD is a great one to have on your radar, especially with NVIDIA. NVIDIA, they have their chips like backed up, back sale. Like people got to wait a year just to get a chip. Having AMD making new chips and potentially having the same computing power can be great for this company because right now the market cap is pretty low. It's 233 billion. So we have a lot of room to move. And especially if AMD can show that their chips are probably as good and or somehow make a better chip, this one can rise a lot. So I do recommend having AMD on your radar overall. But with that being said, man, we got stocks growing, everything doing great. Have those post notifications on. I make daily videos like this all the time and giving you guys daily news as well. Watch yesterday's video. That's going to get you guys ready for the week. And let us get to 500 subs. Check out the site below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Good luck trading. Comment down below any other tickers you may want me to cover and or that you're just watching. And I'll see you later. Peace out.